Morning. It's Sunday morning. It's the morning after the night before when the Springboks are victorious. And what a difference overnight makes. The Pumas went out and they shocked the All Blacks, put on an amazing performance. I was just too tired last night to record something. But it was really an amazing performance for them, and they certainly deserve to win. And that's thrown the Rugby Championship wide open because every team now has got one win. And that does the Springboks heaps of favours, to be very honest, because had the All Blacks won the Rugby Championship, probably would have been pretty much sewn up. The Boks would have to win both games in New Zealand to be able to win the Rugby Championship, defend their title. But the fact that now the Pumas won last night makes it a totally open contest. In fact, the Wallabies are just as good a contenders as the Boks at the moment. Each team has won one game. The better, I suppose, is the Wallabies and the All Blacks, who each won a game away from home. But the Pumas bouncing back and the Springboks bouncing back has certainly thrown the Rugby Championship wide open, and it's probably the best thing for the Springboks because they've had a wake up call. They've now going to go to New Zealand. They're going to name a 30-man squad later today, and but that Puma win, wow! They've now beaten every single Tier 1 country since 2020. They've beaten New Zealand 4 times in the last 4 years. Certainly have their number at times, and they produced a performance which was amazing. It was their first win at home against the All Blacks. The All Blacks always seem to win that game. All Argentina's wins have come in New Zealand, which is remarkable in itself. But last night's win was absolutely amazing. And you've got to give them a lot of credit, Philippe Contepomi, and the way they've grown that team, really done very well. The scenes in Buenos Aires was absolutely amazing last night. It was one of those, if you started watching the game, there's no ways you weren't going to finish that game because it certainly was one of those games that you just wanted to watch to the end. And the passion of the Argentinian fans and the way they celebrated the win, it was massive for them. Of course, on another thing, it leaves the All Blacks a bit vulnerable. They had 3 yellow cards, so that they were 3 all justified, and it certainly leaves them with a situation where they now could be in a bit of trouble. They're still going to be unbeaten at Eden Park. They're still going to start as favourites. The Boks still have a lot to work to do, and there's other videos with myself and Gavin Rich talking about it, and we'll be speaking to Nick Mallet on Tuesday about just where the Boks are now ahead of this tour. But geez, how the whole picture has just changed through that one result. The Pumas now travel to Australia. That's going to be intriguing to watch. This is the most open rugby championship ever. I don't think I can remember a time where all 4 sides have been so dominant, so good, and have such a good chance to win the rugby championship. But let's have a look at some of the scenes in Argentina, and then we'll talk about the impact on the rest of the competition.
The 16th time of asking for Argentina, and they are just over 1 minute away. For these fans, a magnificent piece of history.
No, do it again. We can't hear anything. Do it again.
Last week when they looked so all over their game and in a flow sort of state, and I think that's credit to what Argentina were doing with the pressure that they were building towards the All Blacks. So some of the passes and the decision making.
Yeah, it's left the Rugby Championship wide open. Of course, now the next set of games starts on September 6th. All teams have 2 weeks. Australia's got some injury concerns. The Boks are naming a team today, and I'm sure that Argentina will head to Australia with a lot of confidence. Although the Wallabies, that's going to be an intriguing game as well. But the Boks against the All Blacks takes new significance now, because now it's not suddenly such a massive game for the Rugby Championship. It's still a massive game at Eden Park. The Boks want to beat that hoodoo, but certainly the All Blacks egos would have taken a dent, just like the Springboks did last week. So a lot to play for. Let's have a look at the log. Here we have the full Rugby Championship log at the moment after 2 rounds. All 4 sides are basically together. New Zealand, of course, with the bonus point that they picked up. That was very important right at the end there with the kick that they picked up a bonus point in Argentina, in Buenos Aires last night. That bonus point has put them the top of the log, but only just. All 4 teams have one win. New Zealand has 6 points. Australia 5 with the way that they got the bonus point yesterday. The Boks and Argentina 4 each, but all 4 of their sides will be confident going into the next round. For the 2 bottom sides who played at home, Well, the next two games are going to be crucial for their Rugby Championship hopes. And the Boks know that if they can win one of those two in New Zealand, then the two against Argentina could actually come down to the championship. But, yeah, if you look at it, tries for Springboks only scored 6 tries. 9 by Australia and New Zealand, and I think there's something we should talk about over the next couple of weeks about that. Boks, obviously, yes, they went back to type, weren't really worried about scoring so many tries, but they had 9 tries scored against them. Same with Argentina, most in that first test last week, both of them. So they'll want to come back stronger in these next games. So how did Argentina do it? Well, yeah, they dominated most of the stats, and it's not often you see an All Blacks team dominated like that. But let's have a look at some of the stats and just how they dominated them. Look at his defence, and that was a big one for the All Blacks as well. We spoke yesterday a bit on those, talking about the Boks about missed tackles here, but you see the All Blacks one in the black there on the right hand side, 186 tackles, missed 40 tackles missed. When do you see an All Black team miss 40 tackles? That's something amazing still to me. Turnovers 1-7, but just already that 40 tackles, missed tackles, that stands out. 186 tackles is a lot of tackles, and it just shows you the dominance that Argentina had in this test. Next, the attacking stats. Of course, the All Blacks scored 3 tries to 2. That didn't stop Argentina. Argentina really had a lot of chances they missed as well. You just look at that meters gain, 538 against 199. You don't see an All Black team dominated like that as well. 150 carries to 80. Defenders beaten 40 to 17. Clean breaks 7-1. That was just a total domination by Argentina. It was probably one of the best games I've ever seen them play. They were absolutely unbelievable, and it was worth staying up and losing sleep over it. So both teams made a lot of turnovers, but geez, those stats are really one-sided. Next stat we're going to be looking at the kicking stats. You see there, Argentina also did a lot of kicking. Their aerial game was excellent, just like the Springboks yesterday, and it shows you just the importance of the aerial game in modern rugby. The All Blacks only kicked 18 times. There you can see their conversion accuracy. Their conversions were obviously, they kicked both of them over. Penalty goals accuracy was pretty good. The All Blacks didn't have a great night with a boot in either way, but just was interesting to note that stat as well. Breakdown just shows again how dominant the Argentinians were. Double the amount of breakdowns, or almost double the amount of breakdowns as well. Both teams lost a few rucks, but just most of them won their own. But Argentina just had so many more. The All Blacks tried to maul them, but it obviously wasn't that effective. Argentina only used 1 maul in the entire game. That's quite an interesting stat as well. Interesting stat again with the set plays. You look at the All Blacks lost 3 lineouts. Argentina lost 1. But certainly the All Blacks line-out didn't function as well as it should have last night. Scrum's not really much you can say about that. The All Blacks scrum really tried, but it was a pretty even contest most of the way. But Argentina were just dominated in all other areas of the game. And then the final stat, obviously discipline. This is one that really cost the All Blacks. The stat that stands out there is those 3 yellow cards. That was massive. Both teams consider there was a lot of penalties in the game, but Argentina conceding 13, which is higher than they really want. But those 3 yellow cards were a big difference on them. And although when All Blacks were down to 13, Argentina didn't really score. They certainly had enough dominance, and they scored when it mattered. So if you haven't gone to watch the game, or you didn't get the chance to watch it last night, go and have a look at the highlights, or better yet, watch the whole game if you can on a replay on SuperSport. Certainly an exceptional game for Argentina, and it's thrown the Rugby Championship wide open. This is a wonderful Sunday. That's probably the best Sunday present that Rassie Erasmus could get. And yeah, what do you think? Where do you think the Boks chances are, and who do you think is going to win the Rugby Championship now after such a dramatic weekend? But listen, thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, please smash that subscribe button, and do obviously the thumbs up and all likes and all that, and keen to read your comments on the Argentinian game. The All Blacks certainly had a bit of a bloody nose after that. So a tough one for them, but well done Argentina. It certainly makes the Rugby Championship very interesting. And we'll keep on your eye out on this channels. We'll chat to Nick Mallet on Tuesday. There's going to be a bunch of other ones. I want to try and get a couple of my overseas journal colleagues to chat about exactly where the respective teams are. So keep an eye out for that. It'll be very interesting to see. But thanks for watching and enjoy your weekend. What's left of it.